Joe, just want to talk about yesterday's results. First of all, trailer utilization was really great, okay? It was probably the best ever we had in the service center at 88%. So that's great, okay? The thing that wasn't so great, as you know, is the exceptions, okay? And we had a terrible day. After a good week last week, we were at 217, we had 5 exceptions. Sort of unusual, we had 3 in the city and only 2 for the FAC. So you had the note I sent you, right?
Yeah, I have the guys' names that I'm going to see, and I already talked to one of them actually, explained what happened, researched it, and you know, he knows now, and hopefully it'll improve his behavior. And the other 2 guys I'm going to get when I see him later on tonight. So
yeah, for those exceptions, it really looks like we're missing them as they're being unloaded off the trailer. So we got to have everybody very aware of that, and guys will do the same thing on the FAC. Motor moves, while we struggle on Monday, yesterday was a terrible day at 641, and especially after the record we set last week, okay, where we had 10.31, best we ever had, and you know, our effort needs to be in sustaining it. We don't want to go backwards, we want to stay over the goal, okay. Load factor, as you can see on here, was 823. I know the 8 empties hurt.
Yep.
Usually when we don't have empties, we're in pretty good shape, but even though we had great trailer utilization, the empties had a negative effect on us. Up-on departures, you're like solid gold on those usually. And I know you reported to Chris 100%. We were actually 100%, but it shows 94.12. You did everything you could, and we know what happened there, but great job as usual, and I don't take that for granted. Reways was a big night for reways at 102%. You need to keep that effort up because we're a little bit lower than what we normally are and a little bit too close for comfort, so we want to build that up and get back on track. How about giving me a breakdown by lane of analysis last night?
sure. So I'll start with AY. We started with beginning of the night 2 trailers, 140 cube, which isn't at goal, but with 39,000 pounds,
Yeah.
really can't do much with that. So we got that up to 148 at the end of the night, 2 trailers, right around 20 grand a piece. Worked out to be 75 average cube for that lane,
Not bad.
which isn't bad given the weight and the density. Charleston was 2 trailers on 168, which is above goal as long as we can get it on there. Actually, a couple dim checks brought it up to 173, so that was 86.5% on that lane. Columbus, this is where we had definite room for improvement last night. It was supposed to be 6 trailers on 542. It ended up being 7 trailers on 565. If you break that down, it's still 80.7, so that's still above goal. But there was definitely, I mean, on the dock, seeing the freight, there was improvement that we could have made, but there were some incompatible pieces that made it kind of difficult.
And usually Columbus are the lanes that help us.
Right, yeah, and last night it just so happened that it was still above goal, like I said, but it could have been better. Hagerstown, huge night for Hagerstown. The first 2 trailers we closed out were over 100%. Started out at 4 on 372. Once I saw we had 2 trailers over 100, I knew we were going to be golden. We ended up at 4 trailers at 390, which is 98%.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that's not average by any means, but that's just how it ended up working out. When you get the right freight, that's what happens. Milton was 1 trailer and 88 cube. We didn't have any specialty bar last night. You know, that's usually a cube killer for us. So we got that all on 1. That ended up being 84, just with a little tweak on the dimensions on a couple of skids. So that ended up being 1 trailer and 84. Toledo, you know, is a tough lane for utilization, filling it out. It was 2 trailers on 116 at the beginning of the night. It was about 26 grand, so we really couldn't try to shave it to 1. So I diverted some of our FAC freight that normally goes through Mini and can also go through Toledo, diverted as much of that in as I could, got it to 2 on 141, which worked out to be about 71 cube per trailer. So overall, we were, beginning of the night, the average cube for all lanes would have been around 81. We ended up about 83.6. So we did better than our lineup summary, and like you said, the whole service center did well yesterday. So that really worked out for us. And like you said, with the reways, 102 yesterday is a huge day, and if all scales are, you know, working order, like, you know, sometimes we have trouble with them breaking down and stuff like that. We can do stuff like that 102%, you know, so we're gonna, as long as we have all the motors up, we're gonna take full advantage of it, get 100 or as close to 100 as we can every night, and overall fairly successful night. But the motor moves, like you said, need improvement. Monday is always the worst day, and we just need to keep, you know, getting these guys to work on getting the motor moves up, scanning the freight in the mornings, you know, when it needs to be scanned and stuff like that. So.
Okay, great job. You touched on some points I want you to continue to stress. That's the exceptions, motor moves, service, helds, misloads. We're doing better there, but still need a lot of help making sure that we're error-free with that. Okay, and like we talked about earlier, if load factor, if we don't have empties, we're in great shape. And I think you do a great job out there throughout the night, keeping the trailers high and tight, that they're not that we're not ripping them apart at the end of the night. That also helps with their on-time departures, as you know.
Absolutely.
So, hey, great job, and thanks, and let's have another good night tonight. Okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks.